Immigration headquarters for the easier replacement of ID card. Replace your ID card now.
Ang opinyon ng programang ito ay mula sa host at ang kanilang panauhin at di nangangahulugang opinyon ng estasyong ito, Metro Plus AM 1044.
Reminiscing the old from the new sa ating mga kasama sa araw na ito. 7 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Magkakasama po tayo hanggang alas 10 ng gabi. Kuya Mike niyo po on a Thursday. This is the final Thursday ng buwan ng Abril because next week we will fall on a Labor Day. May 1st na next week sa ating Thursday. So yun ay statutory holiday ninyo. At magkakasama po tayo hanggang alas 10 ng gabi. Kasama po natin ngayon, DJ McCurves. Kuya Mike niyo po sa programa po natin. Ngayong araw, expect some thunderstorms over the next 24 hours. As siguro, dun sa mga area ninyo, kung saan man ho kayo ngayon, nakakaranas po kayo ng pagkakulog, kidlat, at kung ano-ano pa. No? And they call it strong winds. Monsoon winds. Yung mga, kung kayo'y hindi kasing laki ni DJ McCurves,
bakit ganyan?
Hindi, kasi pag hindi ka kasi laki ni DJ McCurves, that means, diba, maaanod ka nung hangin.
May chance pa rin naman.
Sige nga, one of these days, pag lumakas yung ulan na ganyan, sige, tayo sa ano. Ano ba yung pinaka-windy air section ng Causeway Bay? Ay, yung area mo. Windy yun eh.
Very. Dahil tunnel yun eh.
Di ba? Ano yun? Directly in front of the
yung
breakwater, di ba? Ng Causeway Bay. Sige na nga. Anyway, sa mga kasama po natin, maraming salamat sa inyo. Pagbati po natin sa lahat ng ating mga kasama sa iba't ibang parte ng daigdig. Magandang gabi, magandang hapon, magandang umaga. Ito po ang PTS PinoyTayoSanman. Kami po ay matatagpuan sa, of course, Hong Kong. We're on the just a little bit on the eastern side of Kowloon. Sabihin na natin, nasa ano po kami? Nasa bukanan po kami nung eastern front ng Victoria Harbor. Kung saan dumaan po yung isang ano ba yun?
A350
1000.
na ano. They released a behind the scenes of that.
Oh, really?
And how they planned it. There was a 5-minute video.
And take note, 4 na kapitan yung nandun.
4 captains, tapos
captains,
ano. Ang galing.
And meron akong hindi nyo na alam ko.
Ano yun?
Na the captains pala as the aviation, ano ba yun? Civil Aviation Department ng Hong Kong. Na humingi sila ng permit not to follow the path of the old Kai Tak and actually fly on top of Kai Tak Stadium. Hindi sila pinayagan.
Kung ako sa kanila.
Kung
ako sa kanila.
Ginawa nila yon. Wala na silang lisensya.
Okay lang, mayaman na kayo.
Yun pala yung gusto nilang gawin. Yung, di ba, kasi may ano yan eh. May curve na pasok yan eh, di ba? Papasok.
Yung 45, yung the 40,
almost
47 degree Hong Kong bank.
Di ba? Yung bank nila.
Oo.
Gusto sana nilang gawin yon.
Dapat ginawa nila yon. Okay lang. Mawawalan kayo ng lisensya. Pero heroes kayo ng Hong Kong.
Parang nag-isip tuloy ngayon. Balikan natin yun.
Oo.
Pero naman, classic naman yung even pag ano nila eh. Di ba? Pag low fly nila at 1,000
It was very
feet.
unique.
Very, very
unique.
talaga.
Like, yung may mga photos nga. That's why I was like, in the age of AI now,
Oh.
like, nung nakita ko yung mga photos and yung video, pati video eh. I was like, huh? Bakit naman nila fake to ngayon? Ano na naman tong pinapalabas nila? Yung mga photos na makikita mo, the plane is right below yung IFC, the IFC tower, yung mga IFC buildings na yan. Like, parang in line. Sabi ko, imposible naman yan. Bakit naman tas yung pala totoo?
Totoo siya. And even, if I remember clearly, even yung first passing through ng isang A380, di ba? Yung first landing ng A380 sa Checlapcock Airport o sa Hong Kong Airport natin. Wasn't as low as what Cathay did eh. Di ba? At saka yung synchronicity ng mga cameras while it was actually going through that path. Ang galing.
It was really good.
Ang galing niya. Kung sino man yung naging director nun. Unbelievable.
Tapos live yung message.
Yes!
Hindi siya pre-recorded na
Galing, ano?
Ang galing.
Anyways, mga pagbati po natin kay Tita Miriam Padilla, kay Tita Dory. Sabi niya, madaming off day. Yeah, you have 1, 5, and the 30th ba? Oo.
Sana all.
Dami yung buti kayo. Paano naman kami? To Celine Solis, Sheila Kaya, maraming salamat. Pagbati rin natin kay Tita Edna, experiencing about 20 degrees in Milan. And sabi niya, pa-coffee muna, pagising. Long weekend naman kami dito, starting tomorrow. I think, is that in connection to the burial of
the Pope?
The Pope,
Most likely.
Yeah. Kasi people are encouraged to go nga, di ba? To Mitch Nosite from Wampo. Hi, Mitch. Yung mga taga Wampo, paano naman kami? Marisad Bakuri, Danya, si Tess Frondozo, Jasmine Asis, Delisa Ambatali, Tita Kat, Rosemary Josena, to ano tawag dito? Kuya Jonathan, hello po. Ella Leos, Helen Siapno, Mariquet Arguello, Andrea Perez, Jamela Corda. Kasama rin po natin si Lucencia Payumo, Tita Shelo, Sharon Flores de la Cruz, si Reina La Chica. Kasama rin natin Tita Agnes all the way from Toronto. Hope the weather is good there. Tita Gertrudes, Tita Josie. Sayang nga yung hindi natuloy yung tap on the stadium. Maswerte sana yung nasa stadium at that particular time. Well, sometimes
Hindi lalo akong nainggit.
ay, lalo na, sigurado yun.
Oo.
Si Buendia Atrero, kasama rin po natin ngayon. At sa amin, Tita Agnes,
9 degrees now. Up to 21 later.
Parang ang laki ng disparity niyan,
Hindi mo alam kung magte-t-shirt ka ba, magja-jacket.
O parang yan di ba? Parang sa Melbourne,
Oo.
di ba? Na nagsusnow yung kaninang umaga, tapos sobrang init sa after.
Yeah.
Tita Gloria, kasama rin po natin ngayon. Maraming salamat. #BuddyKo. Okay, let's check on the weather forecast for the next 8 days.
8 days.
8 days ba?
Hindi ka kasi nag-show last week kaya nawala yung 8 days lang
8
tayo
days.
lagi.
Oo nga pala, 8 araw. Susan Gander, kasama rin po natin. 25 tomorrow, rainy conditions, high chances of rain, 24 to 28 degrees, humidity 80 to 95%. Humidity has been very high recently, and I think that's also because of the rain and cloudy periods. Actually, I did walk 2 days straight. Ang hirap po talagang
Nasa na yung mga nagsasabi na hindi daw magiging humid this summer.
Hindi naman hindi ganun ka-humid this summer. Hindi pa naman summer di ba? Ano pa lang ngayon
Spring.
Spring but not so spring.
I feel like spring na.
Spring
Dahil
siya.
hindi na feeling ko hindi na tayo magti-teens.
Okay. Si Power Garcia, kasama rin po natin ngayon. Sabi nga ni Tita Agnes, 4 seasons daw in the month of April. Saturday, maulambon po siya, 23 to 26 degrees. You've noticed that about 2 to 3 degrees ang binabana naman, expect humidity to be between 75 to 95%. We have cloudy periods On Sunday and Monday, a bit of sunshine are expected. Back na naman tayo to 24, high of about 29. And humidity is back to the low of about 65 and a high of 95%. Chances of rain, medium to low. 29th to the May 2nd. So, tingnan niyo po ito ha. Bahagya pong makulimlim ang panahon ng Tuesday, Wednesday, low of 24, high 29. Similar weather conditions ng 29 and 30. Okay, so 60 to 80% humidity. May 1st, expect some rain patches. 24, right? Similar weather conditions between Thursday and Friday, May 1st and May 2nd. 24 to 28, 65 to 90% ang humidity. Sabi nga ni Tita Dory dito, sanay na ako na nakikita ang plane ng ganun kababa. Kapit-bahay ko lang ang airport. Minsan, yung sinasakyan namin na bus, nasa top yung airplane. Dyan sa ano?
Saan?
Nasa ano sila? Argyle eh.
So doon dumadaan yung ano?
Hindi. May
on
path
approach.
dun eh, di ba?
On
May
approach.
path yun. Okay, si Wenseng Mamwag. When the spring is sprung. Ay, nako. Marami ho tayong pag-uusapan sa araw na ito. We will also be giving you a bit of information. Baka doon sa mga disgruntled na ayong bumoto at nag-i-encourage sila na ayaw pabotohin yung iba. Well, think again. Dahil I think it's not right for you to be disgruntled and not to register and not to vote. Not to enroll and not to vote.
I think to each their own, pero
Ikaw, bumoto ka na eh.
yung tatay ko
Okay.
bumoto na. Pwede pa ako mag-enroll.
Yes.
Dahil bumoto ako last Yun, ayoko ulitin yun.
Ay, yung pumila ka.
Yung pumila ako na bumoto na isang araw ako nandun, tapos boboto lang ako, tapos wala, nandun lang, nakapila lang. Like, I would rather
But did you actually vote in
The national?
Middle? No. I mean, in the middle of the whole month, or you voted on a weekend or a weekday?
Pilipino, doon ako sa weekend na last
Pinoy
week.
na Pinoy.
Proud to be. Kaya sabi ko, boboto ako ng Pinoy, kaya dapat Pinoy style na dapat.
So nung pumila ka, nakasar ka tuloy.
Sabi ko, inisip ko, hindi lang nga pala ako yung Pilipino na Pilipino mag-isip.
Yun.
Now that there's online voting, I can actually do it now.
Yeah, you can do it if you want to, di ba? I mean, ito lang sasabihin natin, the point given is, it's always a problem pag Pinoy, ito lang sabihin ko pag Pinoy ang gumawa ng app, yun na yun, no? Yun na yun. I mean, bahala na kayo mag-describe. You end our sentence.
Because honestly, as we were talking off air, as tech persons na that quickly judges an app or a website na parang super hindi polished eh.
Okay, so if you rate that from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest na it's user friendly. Di pa muna. Lalakihan ko yung tawag dito, yung rating. Kasi 1 to 5 medyo masyadong whether you put it on a 5 di ba, very prescriptive. 1 to 10 na.
1 to 10 out of
1 being the lowest friendly
yung 1, does it work?
Ay, sige, sabihin na natin. Then yung 10 mo is
It's
talagang high-end talaga.
Smooth
You're
na,
super smooth. Yung makikita mo na, syempre, an app is never perfect. Di ba?
Yeah.
Okay? Even a phone, the iOS system is not never perfect. Or the operating system. So, the highest is being friendly. 1 is trash.
3? 2?
So, beta siya.
Very beta dahil yun nga sinabi ko, I had issues with trying to log in to vote because I was trying to help my dad vote, help him log in to vote. Yung may nagkaroon kami ng issues na parang hindi kami makapag-log in. The simple fact that the page where at least when I was trying to vote or when my dad was trying to vote, The simple fact that the page where you click to change your password, it doesn't exist.
Yung gusto mong palitan yung password mo.
Oo, like yung parang, yung syempre, like, everyone, like 99% of people have an email na parang click to reset your password. Tapos yung password reset sequence, isi-send yun sa secondary contact mo. Parang mobile phone number or secondary email where you can click the link to start that process. This being a government voting system, government app, website, wala yung simpleng password change ng sequence. Like, paano kung gusto ko palitan yung password ko? Paano na?
Oo nga. And that's your option eh.
That's your only option.
That's
diba?
your option mo.
Tapos yung contact an agent, wala. Agent ko dyan. Kaya yun. Pero at least I figured out na what to, like,
But kagaya mo sinabi mo, di ba? Sabihin mo na, you're probably above average than those who are not that much literate in terms of technology. So if you put yourself, kung ilalagay natin yung sarili mo doon sa below, sabihin mo na, hindi masyadong techie. How difficult it would be for them to actually find out what you have undergone. Matagal. It took me 30 minutes to Techie ka na yan, ha?
Yeah. Because yung naging issue sa amin was the username when we use the phone.
Okay.
Tapos when we use the phone, when you input it, yung sa Hong Kong, 8 numbers lang.
Okay.
So I assumed the username was gonna be just the 8 numbers. It took me 30 minutes to figure out na kasama pala yung area code, yung 852.
Yung country code niya.
Yung country code. 852 tapos yung number.
Yun yung magiging user mo.
Yun yung magiging username. In defense of this app or whatever, or this website, they did say, or they do say, when they do say your username when they send you the one-time password.
Mali yun.
Because no one reads the whole message.
Hindi, tsaka nobody actually adds your username to a one-time password.
Yeah.
Kasi yung one-time password is, yun eh, di ba?
Secure
Unique
yun eh. Oo.
Hindi
secure yun eh.
Correct.
Like, they sent this is your, parang if I remember correctly, username, colon, tapos yung 852. Kaya inisip ko, baka may 852 dun sa username. Because all I inputted was just
the region.
Yung 8 numbers.
8 numbers mo.
For local here.
Okay.
But for when you do a username and you use a mobile phone number as your username, dapat may 852. Which is, I don't know.
Kasi yun nga yung tinatanong ko kanina kay DJ McCurves. Yung question ko sa kanya, normally when you, kagaya yan, yung mga kababayan natin who is very much acquainted with opening accounts, di ba? Whether GCash, Alipay, and so on and so forth. Meron laging prefix box, di ba? And doon sa prefix box, it identifies the country. Flag pa nga yung iba na nakalagay doon eh, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero dito sa atin, wala.
They don't, like...
But they question you, which region are you from?
Yes, which region. Dun sa pagka-register mo or enroll mo for online voting. They have a scroll where you can choose your region or let's say Hong Kong, Italy, whatever, wherever. But they don't show, like, once you click that, hindi nila nilalagay sa prefix na may 852, ganun, in your username in the enrollment.
Okay.
A simple fix of that would have been when you're logging in, you choose your region where
Yun
you're
na nga yung sinasabi ko, di ba?
Just like when you're logging in, not just when you're enrolling.
Yes.
When you're logging in, you put your, you click region, Hong Kong, tapos input your 8 numbers.
Correct. Or, dapat yon because you've already choose your input, na region mo, dapat yun lalabas na yung automatic, fix na yung
Oo.
prefix mo.
And what they didn't do also was when they send you the one-time password, they don't have a page that says successfully created account, username, this is your username.
Hindi, wala din.
Wala
yun.
din yun.
Okay.
Like the way they acknowledge that you successfully created your account was they send you the one-time password.
Oo nga naman. So tama nga yung sinasabi mo. Kung ikaw ay hindi techie
Man,
and you don't analyze what you see, sabit ka talaga.
yeah, you will immediately go to the consulate.
Sabit ka talaga. Oo.
Sabi ko nga like when I was getting frustrated na sabi ko kay tatay, pumunta na lang tayo sa konsulado. Sasamahan kita bukas.
Yun ang sinabi mo?
Yun sinabi ko. Sabi ko, sige, sasamahan kita bukas. 8 a.m. pumunta na tayo doon. E di, pagka pumunta kami doon, tas hindi ko pala nabasa yung e di ako yung nagmukhang tanga.
True.
Sasabihin ng mga nasa konsulado, hindi po, ito po, nakalagay. E di, parang nagmukha akong hindi nagbabasa ng message. But, I would say when you get a one-time password, all you look at is the one-time password because that's time sensitive. Sometimes nga there are like yung mga telecom companies when they send you when they ask for a one-time password and you click send me one-time password and you receive the text, they put down the one-time password for you.
Correct.
So,
Automatic yun.
Automatic. So no one really who reads it.
Oo. Tama kasi yung one-time password lalabas yun sa taas ng keyboard mo.
Yung notification bar.
Automatic na siya eh.
Yeah, usually pagka may one-time password nga, hindi ko na binubuksan yung message eh. Pag nakikita ko naman yung number doon sa notification bar, yun lang yung inaano ko eh.
That's true. 8:28 sa ating programa, just to let you know that the number of registered
Enrolled online
registered
voters.
muna. Registered voters as of 2019. This was one of the biggest numbers natin, 2019. Was 87,441. Laki nun, ha? And that's the biggest among overseas, eh. No? Nung year na yon, 2019, there were 16,000 overseas voters in Hong Kong's accounts were deactivated. Okay, ano yung ibig sabihin ng deactivation? Kung kayo po hindi nakaboto within a period ng
Dalawang
successions,
cycles.
dalawang beses hindi kayo nakaboto, tinatanggal na po talaga yun. So, that's just one of those ang tawag dito, information na ibibigay po natin. And of course, roughly there were over 60,000 voters in the previous presidential and vice presidential elections. No? So, ano naman yung bilang natin ngayon? No? As of, ano na ngayon? 24. So, we have approximately another, sabihin na natin, 14 days? Kasi May 12 eh.
Yung final voting.
Yeah. So, mga 16 days pa. No? We have 16 days and counting for the main midterm elections in May 12. No? So, kami, we're still encouraging everyone to actually vote. But we'll tell you more details sa pagbabalik po natin. Tita Kerry, hindi natin makakasama sa araw na ito, no? But we will continue with what we have right here on Thursday edition PTS.
Metro Plus weather.
It will be mainly cloudy with occasional showers and a few squally thunderstorms. Temperatures will range between 24 and 28 degrees, and relative humidity will stand between 80 to 95%. We can expect light to moderate southerly winds becoming moderate east to northeasterlies at night. The outlook. It will be windier and there will still be a few showers on Saturday. Slightly cooler in the morning over the weekend. There will be sunny periods in the following couple of days, and it will be hot during the day. And that's the weather from Metro Plus, your Connect.
Don't encourage young people to drink or taste alcohol. Drinking adversely affects young people's brain development, as well as causing emotional problems and physical harm. Family members and adults should keep alcohol out of young people's reach. Be a responsible adult. Don't encourage or challenge young people to drink. For more information on young and alcohol-free, visit the Change for Health website of the Department of Health. Protect young people from harm. Say no to alcohol.
Balik po tayo sa ating programa 831. Gusto ko lang, gaya ng nabanggit ko po, we're trying to gather as much information as we can. So, kung gusto niyo po kami samahan ngayon and tell us what is your thoughts on voting, lalo na yung sa mga nakaboto na po, you can actually send us a WhatsApp or call us on the WhatsApp number, no? 66418811. We'd like to hear your experience, no? I'm voting tomorrow. But kung malakas ang ulan tomorrow, hindi na ako boboto. Saturday na ako boboto.
Papunta ka doon?
I'm going kasi ang problema ko, even if I register now, yung with so much ways of encouragement ko dati na magpalit nung Comelec has not changed my
Name.
my misspelled name until now. So hindi siya pa pwede mag-ugma yung nasa passport ko and yung voter's ID ko, di ba? That in itself is a problem. So the only way that can be rectified is to go directly to the Commission on Election, of course, representatives natin in the consulate. But of course, ano lang naman yan madali naman siya i-rectify as long as na you voted many times before. At least meron akong voters ID na yung mukha ko nabura na. Saka nakakita ng ID na nabubura yung mukha mo no?
Itong Hong Kong ID ko kung pwede lang. Sana.
Pero Diyos ko po, kahit na yung I only had one experience in my 36 years here in Hong Kong. When the ID was still plastic. Naabutan mo ba yon? Yung parang laminated?
Hindi na.
Hindi mo na naabutan yon? So card ka na talaga?
Card na talaga.
Card na. Okay, so
kasi yung first ID card mo dito in Hong Kong is the 11-year-old one
pero yung walang picture, di ba?
Walang
picture yon.
Walang
So
picture.
pangalan lang, di ba?
Yeah.
It's big. Ano nila yon that's their way of protecting the young, the minors, no? So I remember nung meron ako noon, ano pa siya, para siyang malaking ID card pa.
Yuck.
Pero it's still, kahit na sabihin mo ng ID card siya, yung question ko doon, it's for its time at that particular time.
Yeah.
Talagang okay siya.
Laminated.
Ang ano lang doon, hindi mo lang siya masusuksok doon sa wallet mo.
Dahil malaki.
Kasi masyado, eksakto siya doon sa lalagyan ng pera. Pero syempre, kahit ano sabihin mo, laminated siya diba? Pero yung lamination niya makapal talaga. So anyway, based on that scenario, yung sa akin, nakapagpalit ako once with that one. Kasi nabuksan talaga siya diba? It actually got opened. So yun yung gusto lang natin ipaalam. Ngayon, syempre, from that time onwards, naging parang credit card na siya Became the hard copy.
The hard, The hard
plastic. And of course, yung current ngayon has many features na hindi natin alam yun. You can't actually see it. Yung meron lang sila. Only a company or immigration who has the reader for it will be able to see yung
mga security
features niya. Yun yung difference. Okay. So, like what we said, I have to go talaga. I don't have any choice but I have to go to the consulate. But some of you who would have had the chance to already enrolled, gusto ko lang siguro, one of the payo ni DJ McCurbs is use your phone number. Don't use an email address. Kasi yung email, ang magiging problema mo dyan, if you're not so used to, which hindi ko naman matatanggal sa inyo yun because you hardly use email, no? So most of your is either Messenger, WhatsApp, Viber. Yun yung mga di ba? Yun yung common na ginagamit sa atin. So based on that scenario, hindi kayo masyado dun sa email. Sa email kasi there's two ways of getting it, no? You get it in your inbox or you get it in a spam. Ang problema doon, if you're not so well versed in the email,
hindi mo hahanapin sa spam.
Hindi mo hahanapin sa spam, no?
Yeah.
So that will be one of your problems as far as everything is concerned. So yun, kailangan nyo pong isipin nyo, no? You have to look at that as far as everything is concerned. So, if you have that, wala na ho kayo magiging problema. Once you've already ano tawag dito? Enrolled as what they put their mindset into it, then all throughout the succeeding the next presidential election, which will be in I think 2028. So yun na rin pong gagamitin ninyo. Okay? So sabi dito ni Miss Abansado, ang experience ko mga maggawa ka ng new password para sa vote at magdala ng lista na gusto ninyong iboto dahil limit ang time para di ka na mahirapan na maghanap ng gusto mong i-vote. Huwag kalimutan dalhin ang passport. Need po both kasi yung email will be your username. Nancy, you can choose your phone number because yun yung magiging one-time password mo. Ayun yung magiging username mo. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, kung hindi po kayo sanay, 'di ba? Use your Hong Kong number.
Yeah.
Walang dumating because according to DJ McCurves, wala daw dumating sa kanya
Na?
na one-time password. Baka hindi niya... Could that be possible?
If the number is incorrect, yes.
Oo nga, no? Baka naman yung number mo hindi registered. Pero imposible naman dito sa Hong Kong na hindi registered.
You have to
number.
register your ano na eh.
Hindi, tsaka yung pag nag-activate ka, you have to register it automatic, di ba? I tried my Hong Kong number. Wala pong one-time password dumating. Natapos na lang yung 5 minutes. You try it again. I think there may issue. Alam mo, kaya nga yung sinasabi natin, may issues po
May
siya.
issues.
The problem that you have to bear in mind. Okay? Ito, overall po ito. The COMELEC has always specified that your phone's operating system should be updated.
Baka yun yung issue.
Yun na nga.
Baka yun yung
Yan
issue.
yung issue. So, kailangan, lalo na kung meron po kayong medyo lumaluman na telepono,
Yung 3310.
hindi naman, sobra ka naman. Wala. Yung 3310, pang ano yun, pambukol yung effect yun eh. Nagte-3310 ka pa dun sa sitwasyon na yun. Hindi, gusto ko lang po paalalahanan sa inyo, siyempre, kailangan smartphone na siya. Diba? But there's a certain smartphones na hindi talaga applicable doon sa system. So, ang suggestion ko is go to your settings, go to software, software update, and i-update nyo muna yung software nyo.
Paano kung masyadong luma na yung phone?
Hindi. So, kung luma na po yung phone and you're still getting that particular problem, then you have to mention that you have to go straight to the consulate. And then you will use yung panel na nila. Di ba?
To register.
To register as well as vote at the same time.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, yun yung situation. So, everyone has their own teething problems. Kagaya ng sinasabi natin, may mga teething problems because operating system, the way we input our data. Some people said 5 minutes, some people said took their 30 minutes. Di ba? Ang question ko lang kasi dito, tama yung sinabi kanina ni DJ McCurves, baka naman while we're actually going through the process of signing in, yung back end nung whole system na ito, ginagawa pa rin nila doon. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Possible yun, ano?
Yeah.
While you're actually doing it, tapos
ina-update
pa rin nila sa likod.
Because how when I used to still build websites and all that, there's things called live website where that's what the people see. That's what you see, that's what I see. Let's go to facebook.com. Everyone sees it.
Pero yung back end, hindi nila nakikita.
You don't see that, and people can keep on working on that, and then once they decide na pwede na i-update. Kaya may mga software updates, may ganun din sa website. Once you put that new version of the website live, it will take over the old version. Tapos makikita mo yung bagong So
maaari yun yung nangyayari, no?
Probably. Like yung may nag-mention na they had the forget password na Nung nag-forget password, sabi, this page is not available.
Ganun?
Yung reset password, this
Okay.
page is not available.
So that means baka ginagawa pa rin
Baka
nila yun.
nagawa na nila. Oo.
By this time.
Di ba?
Sabi yung mga experiences niyo dito. Yes, Kuya Mike, many times tried po but failed. Gmail, a Hong Kong number, di makaregister. Failed this time and vote ko. So sad how many decades here. You know, Catherine, yun yung question ko na minsan hindi ko maintindihan din sa inyo. You know? You're already frustrated with what you're doing. But there are alternative ways of trying to register or enroll. So gamitin nyo po yung opportunity na yon. Don't wait for something na hindi naman, I mean, so much for my exaggeration and saying it na exaggerated. It's not the end of the world. There's still a lot of ways to try to figure it out. The 18th floor in OWA Center, which is the place for registration now, take advantage of that because there are people there to help you.
To help you, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't just stay disgruntled
Correct.
or naaasar lang kayo.
Correct.
Dahil, at the end of the day, sino yung hindi nakaboto? Kayo lang.
Jomer, I don't understand gamitin mo yung passport. No, there's only two alternatives when you enroll. Either email or yung or your number, di ba?
Dahil yung
will
passport
only
is
happen
after you
na
get the after you successfully created the account
and your password.
and password.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think what you're trying to say right now is irrelevant doon sa
sa
paggawa
initial
ng
problem,
initial process, di
Yeah.
ba? Kasi yung passport is only used for identification na pag nandun na kayo sa loob ng account ninyo.
Ang hirap din nun,
Nung ano?
yung pagka-picture ng passport.
Oh, kasi may certain ano yun
Oo, may angulo na hindi pwedeng magka-glare.
Oh.
Sabi ko, paano hindi magkaka-glare?
Plastic yun eh.
Plastic yun. Tapos, pagka wala namang ilaw, it's too dark.
Yes.
Anong gagawin ko?
Correct.
Dapat studio lighting.
Parang ganito.
nirerenta po namin yung studio para makapag-register po
Pwede,
kayo.
bumila ho kayo dito bukas sa linggo.
Oo.
Available ho, ang sisingilin namin $5 bawat picture.
$5. Kung may pagkain po kayo, sige,
libre na yun.
libre na yung pa-picture na.
May pumunta nga dito, ikaw din. Hindi, pero ito lang what's encouraging about it, okay? I don't want, kagaya ng sinasabi ko, there are frustrations in trying to do this. May mali din ginawa yung COMELEC because they pushed us really to the brink of
They basically made us the
guinea pig.
The guinea pigs, yeah.
Yun na yun. Plain and simple. So mali din yung ginawa nila na yun. But in all points of honesty, what you need to do is to really, kumbaga, continue working on it. Now, marami pong nagpapalabas ng maling information. Okay? It's all about what? It's all about disgruntled people na, you vote not because of being part of a faction. You vote because of your country. Diba? That's why you have the ability na makapili po ng tamang mga senador at tamang party list. Wag ho kayong boboto na because of, dahil dito ako loyal ako dito
Yeah.
No. Vote for the right people, di ba? Para maiwasan ho natin yung mga problemang dinaranas po natin ngayon under the COMELEC. Tandaan mo po yun. These are appointees.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't see the reasoning of why people vote na, dito ako sa party na to . Like, it's not a basketball team. Why are you loyal to a party? Why are you loyal to people in government when they have to be loyal to you?
Correct.
I
like that.
You have to be looking at what they've done, not just what they say they're going to do. You look at their plans, or you look at what they've done before in their lower
Experience.
their experience in government. That's why I don't know why people voted for a certain senator who doesn't have any experience at all, that they're making laws now. Like, I don't see, like, just because naging artista, naging singer, naging whatever, because popular siya,
Correct.
ginagawa niyong popularity vote ang...
Ako, simple lang yung description ko dyan. Yung sa'yo, popularity vote eh. Yung sa akin, ano lang it's a matter of what? Dahil kagaya nung isa na nakita ko ganyan, sige, ikikis kita mamaya.
Like, why?
Dahil,
Why? Oh, because nakis ka, nakuha niya boto mo. Your vote is more
Napakababaw
valuable
niyo.
than that kiss.
Pero ito lang gusto kong sabihin, no? For those people who create all these uncertainties about the sanctity of your vote, think again. Dahil after you vote, you get a QR code, a unique QR code that confirms your vote.
Yeah.
Okay? Now,
Hindi masyadong clear yung QR code na yan. In all honesty, again, beta test.
Okay.
Beta testers
so,
tayo.
gusto ko lang sabihin, wala pong yung mga nagsasabi at nagsisinungaling po yung mga nagsasabi na yun, na the list of voters that they voted, nung pagkatapos silang bumoto, lumabas po yung doon sa mark kung sinong binoto nila.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Because you cannot even see who you voted for on the last part of the voting process.
Yeah.
Which ang lalabas lang doon is your QR code. Yun po yung magiging sanctity ng ballot ninyo.
Yung confirm na nag-vote kayo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kaya kung sino man yung mga nagkakalat po ng mga impormasyon regarding that particular thing, kalokohan po yun.
Yung mga nagsasabi, hindi ko nawala yung mga binote ko. Wala dun sa
diba?
resibo.
Exactly.
Wala namang resibo.
Wala namang resibo. There's no receipt at all. Kaya kung kayo'y gumagawa lang naman ng katarantaduhan just to get 50 to 100,000 people to vote na isabihin sa'yo na, tama yun. So, ikakalat na yun. Di ba? Isi-share na siya. Alam niyo po, I will honestly tell you this. You are just one of those people who still continue to put down our country.
Scum of the earth.
So far, wala ho kayong mapapala sa mga ginagawa ninyo.
Just because they want to become viral, become popular, or not even popular, they just want to become viral. They just want clicks. They sensationalize things that are not true.
Agree.
Like, and it's just unfortunate na parang we want to be so popular to the point where you're selling your soul when you preach false things, when you preach falsehood.
Pero ito yung sinasabi ni Mel, no? Sabi ni Mel dito, taga-kalat po naman ng mga ganyang misinformation and ayaw po yung current government. I don't really care who the current government is.
Again, misinformation is misinformation.
Yes. Ang akin dito is to be able to really be the judge on who the people you want to bring in. Now, if we continue to may mga side kayo na, you choose sides of either of the two blocks. At the end, really, it will not prosper.
Yeah.
Yung style of government in the US with two-party system, it will never work in the Philippines. Why? Because you cannot even choose the right person in your family na sino yung gusto mo at sinong ayaw mo.
It's not working in the US.
It is not. It is not. Di ba? So, wag ho nating isipin yung mga ganyang sitwasyon. Now, I think what's happening right now, it defies the law of gravity na nagsasabing boycott these elections. Because as of today, based on the information I have gathered, there's more than 20,000 who already voted. So we have approximately about 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks to go na maaari pang bumoto. No? A lot of people, the numbers are slowly picking up. Okay? Because it's a lot easier for you to vote.
Yeah.
Okay? So ganitong sitwasyon, we may end up actually surpassing the midterm elections of the previous years. No? Maganda pong magandang halimbawa po ito.
It works.
It works.
It works. It works. Doesn't work well.
It doesn't work well, but it works.
It works.
Diba? There's a lot of, sabi ko nga, there's a lot of ways to handle it. Ang ginawa po nung gumawa tayo ng vlog, I remember when we did that with our friends from Migrante, Gabriela, and Mission. our friends from the DFA has actually got that and then sent it to the Philippines. So hopefully,
Yeah.
that actually did garner some
Attention.
para naman maisabi natin na kailangan nating gawin yun. 'Di ba? Best yun para sa atin. So that's in favor. Kasi tandaan nyo po, Hong Kong still remains the highest number of voters
Yeah.
all over the world. No? Considering that our number here is only about 200,000. So kailangan isipin po natin ng maigi po yun. Ano? Na tayo ang sinusundan ng iba pong mga consulates and embassies around the world where there are over 10 million OFWs. So kung sa atin pinapattern yun, kung okay sa atin dito, that means the rest of the world will follow.
Yeah.
Sabi nga ni Jomer dito, what I mean po, Kuya Mike, is usually doon po sa nag-fail sa pag-upload ng picture kasi po iba po yung ginagamit Hong Kong ID. Hindi nga na pwedeng Hong Kong ID, di ba? It has to be the passport.
Passport,
kasi
yeah.
yun po yung legitimate mark that proves that you are a Filipino citizen. Di ba?
Yeah.
Yun
Passport lang talaga.
Correct. So kailangan po nating isipin yung process po na yan. Ano? There is a process. We have to follow the process. And para sa akin, the reason why I'm trying to keep on encouraging, even at the face of mali yung kanilang binigay sa ating information in the previous, di ba? It's because of the power of the vote.
Yeah.
One person, one vote. Tandaan niyo po, there are certain countries na hindi pwedeng bumoto. Walang
Yeah.
oportunidad na bumoto one country, one person, one vote.
Dito.
So, based on that scenario, kailangan natin isipin yun
Yeah.
na meron tayong kakanyahan and meron tayong karapatan, di ba? Na bumoto, bawat tao may isang boto.
Yes.
Yun yung pinaka-importante doon. And that's exactly what is happening right now. So, kagaya na sinasabi natin, if we have over 20,000 already, since we started April 12,
12, yeah.
di ba? Tama, 2 weeks na eh. So if we
April
count
12,
that now,
yeah.
exactly 2 weeks, no? So we have approximately another 2 weeks to run another 2 weeks. So sabihin na natin, if there's 20, like Filipinos are, last minute na naman tayo, that means baka we far exceed the 30,000 mark, which is normally what has happened before nung manual pa siya.
Nung midterm.
Midterm, oo. Midterm kasi normally talaga mababa siya. No?
Yeah.
Because yung top 2 positions are not part of it. So, kailangan natin isipin yung sitwasyon na yun.
Yeah.
Okay? So, to me, it's nice to encourage people to keep on voting.
Yeah.
But if they don't like to, huwag pilitin.
Yeah.
Kasi away lang yan eh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diba?
Honestly.
Di ba? Away lang siya.
Yeah. Again, like, when people say you have the right to vote, you also have the right to not vote.
Correct.
Like, if you want to boycott the new system, you have the right to boycott the new system. But unfortunately, that new system will be implemented in the future
In the succeeding
elections. Because
so
they can see that it actually
works.
Doesn't work well, but it works.
So,
They'll hopefully improve a lot before
Hopefully.
by the national elections. Yung
Correct.
tanong ko
correct.
now is, when you enroll now, do you have to enroll again in the next elections?
Hindi na dapat kasi nakarehistro ka na eh. At saka naka-enroll ka na eh.
What happens if you change your number? Or you change your email?
Or you go somewhere else.
Or you go somewhere else? Yun yung tanong for the future,
For the-
for the future election.
Ay, nako. Okay, ito nga. The reason why I'm also asking all your pertinent answers kung nakaboto ka na. Sabi ni Noel dito, Yado, nakaboto na po ako. Sir, madali lang naman. Sundan lang ang mga instructions. Well, that's where we're good at, not to follow instructions. So the reason why I'm collating all this information, kung may mga experiences kayo na hindi masyadong maganda para sa inyo, because I was invited, no, I was invited tomorrow, na imbitahan po ang inyong lingkod para mag-report po sa DZMM sa teleradyo, no, bukas, para ibahagi po ito, no. Tandaan niyo po, OAV, Overseas Absentee Voting, is nangunguna po tayo because we're voting 1 month in advance. So they want to make it clear kung paano po yung mga proseso dito. And especially people in the Philippines, alam po nila na tayo po yung mataas na bilang ng mga botante. At clearly, tayo yung siguro, sabi nga namin kanina ni DJ McCurves, tayo po yung na italaga bilang guinea pig dito sa sitwasyon na ito. Especially knowing roughly about a year ago, kulang-kulang a year ago, na sinasabi nilang modified po siya. Modified, may tagasulat at merong boboto ng online. Well, that didn't happen. That was what was being thought of then. Ngayon, hindi na yun. Diba? Kasi it's completely, hindi ko nga maintindihan. Mayroon nag-explain sa akin, ano pa rin naman diba? Modified pa rin naman siya diba? Bakit modified? Kasi you can vote here dun sa dalawa nilang voting systems. Hindi modified yun. Diba? They're all digital. Please bear in mind, they're all digital as far as that is concerned. Sabi nga ni Baby de Guzman dito, yes, I know that in time I will vote again, but not this time. Well, that's your decision. Sa totoo lang, walang patience ang mga kababayan natin regarding dito sa online voting. Almost every Philippine Consulate General in every day Philippine Consulate General in Hong Kong announced if any difficulties in online voting, they are willing to assist. Yun na nga yung sinasabi natin. Everyone is there and willing to assist. The only process is it's not supposed to be that way. Diba? There should have been really more information dissemination that should have been made prior to dito sa information na ito. Sabi nga dito, yes, sabi ni Mitch, yes po, correct, QR code na lang ang makikita, hindi na makikita yung mga kung sino man yung inyong binoto. You know what? One of my 10 cents worth in this conversation is that even kung niloko man tayo sa maaaring binoto natin, time will tell for those people who has done or mistakenly cheated the system. Makikita nyo po't makikita yon. Why? In the long run. Why am I saying that? Because yung weaknesses nila, yung kahinaan nila bilang leader doon sa anong posisyon na kanilang kumbagay pagtakbo, makikita nyo po yun. Right? With so many bright young individuals now, yung the next generation is a lot brighter, a lot smarter, a lot sharper. Makikita na po nila yung kamalian or yung mga daya na ginawa noong sino man ang talagang nagdaya. So wag ho tayong mawalan ng pag-asa as far as that is concerned. Right now, ito lang masasabi ko po. I'm part of this generation now. Right? And there's a new batch of generation coming in. I can only say this. Stop complaining because our generation didn't do well in trying to bring back the old good self of the Philippines. So kung yung mga ninuno natin dati was saying na kami yung best generation, think again. I will admit that itong generation ko was the ones who supposed to be doing it better. But it didn't. Okay, tayo po ibabalik makalipas. Don't go away.
Metro Plus, a service of Metro Broadcast. Now the news with Roy Encarnacion.
Russia accused Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Thursday of wrecking diplomacy, aimed at reaching a peace deal after he refused this week to agree to recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova told reporters that it was becoming clearer by the minute that Zelensky lacked the capacity to negotiate a deal to end the war. Zelensky said on Tuesday that recognizing Crimea as part of Russia would violate Ukraine's constitution. Ukraine says it is committed to seeking a full and unconditional ceasefire. After talks with the U.S., Ukraine agreed to a 30-day truce last month, but Russian President Vladimir Putin responded with a list of conditions and questions, saying such a pause would give Ukraine the chance to mobilize more soldiers and acquire more weapons. Zelensky and U.S. President Donald Trump clashed again on Wednesday, with Trump chiding the Ukrainian leader for refusing to recognize Russia's claim to the Crimean Peninsula, which it annexed from Ukraine in 2014. Trump in recent days has said he will walk away from trying to negotiate a settlement in Ukraine if Kiev and Moscow do not make a deal soon. The World Bank has granted Lebanon a $250 million loan aimed at helping alleviate persistent power cuts worsened by last year's war between Israel and Hezbollah, the country's finance ministry said on Thursday. Even before the conflict, Lebanon had for years been struggling with a severe shortage of imported fuel and poor infrastructure. Following the conflict, however, the World Bank said it would need around $11 billion for reconstruction and recovery. The fighting between the Iran-backed group and Israel ended for the most part in November through a brittle ceasefire brokered by the United States, though the two sides accuse each other of failing to fully implement the deal. Lebanon had said it received preliminary approval to increase a World Bank reconstruction loan to $400 million from $250 million. The loan is part of a $1 billion reconstruction program, with the remainder of the financing to come from international aid. China's military said on Thursday that it had dispatched naval and air forces to monitor and warn a U.S.-guided missile destroyer that sailed through the sensitive Taiwan Strait. The U.S. Navy, occasionally accompanied by ships from allied countries, transits the strait about once a month. China, which claims Taiwan as its own territory, says the strategic waterway belongs to it. China held its latest round of war games around Taiwan earlier this month, drawing condemnation from Taipei and concern from the United States and its allies. The Eastern Theater Command of China's People's Liberation Army named the ship as the guided missile destroyer USS William P. Lawrence and said it passed through the strait on Wednesday in an act of public hyping. Relevant remarks by the United States have inverted right and wrong, distorted legal principles, confused the public, and misled international perception, the command said in a statement without specifying which comments it was referring to. We are telling the United States to stop their distortions and hyping and to work together to maintain peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. Police in Tanzania detained two senior opposition figures on Thursday as they drove to a court hearing for party leader Tundu Lissu, who has been charged with treason, their party said. Chadema Party Deputy Chairperson John Heesh and Secretary General John Mnyika were detained as they headed to Kisutu Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam, party spokesperson Brenda Rupia said. We are continuing to witness grave violations of human rights, civic freedom, and rule of law in our country, Rupia said on X. We won't allow our nation to return to the darkness of fear, threats, and oppression. The reason for the detentions was not immediately clear. A police spokesperson did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. President Samia Suluhu Hassan says the government is committed to respecting human rights and ordered an investigation into a series of abductions last year when several government critics were kidnapped and injured or killed by unknown people.
Metro Plus weather.
It will be mainly cloudy with occasional showers and a few squally thunderstorms. Temperatures will range between 24 and 28 degrees and relative humidity will stand between 80 to 95%. We can expect light to moderate southerly winds becoming moderate east to northeasterlies at night. The outlook. It will be windier and there will still be a few showers on Saturday. Slightly cooler in the morning over the weekend, there will be sunny periods in the following couple of days and it will be hot during the day. And that's the weather. From Metro Plus, your Connect.
The Drainage Services Department has two separate systems that collect wastewater and rainwater. Wastewater must be properly treated before being discharged. If not, It will pollute our rivers and harbour and cause a stink. If drains in private premises are misconnected, owners should appoint building professionals or registered contractors to fix them. And remember, keep wastewater out of the rainwater system.
Hi everyone, to facilitate the upgrade at our Pengchao transmitter, our free-to-air signal on AM 1044 will temporarily broadcast on reduced transmitter power until further notice. In this regard, some areas may experience weaker reception, and we apologize for the inconvenience caused. Nevertheless, we have made it possible for you to catch us on other platforms on www.metroradio.com.hk/1044 and on our Metro Broadcast app, which is available for download on the App Store and Google Play Store. Happy listening.
But balik po tayo sa ating programa at 6 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. No? Just to give you a breakdown of the people who voted in the last presidential and vice presidential elections for the OAV dito sa Hong Kong. Okay. Approximately, there were 93,886 registered voters.
900.
No, 93,000.
Oh, 93.
886.
Okay.
Okay. So, ang bumoto at that time was 60,252, which is approximately 64.18%,
Percent.
which is overwhelming yan, no? That's really huge. Okay? So, as of this time, of course, malaki na yung natanggal dito, no? Sa 93,000. A lot of people left. A lot of people did vote siguro after one vote or second vote, di ba? So, that's very encouraging. Based on that scenario, if we still plus or minus, gawin na natin 80,000 na lang yung active. Di ba? Sa mga boboto for this coming elections, for the midterm elections. Right now, we're already on the 20 percent, 20,000, 20K mark. So, that's on the 2-week thing. Let's say, like any Filipino, may surge yan. Diba?
Sa huli.
Sa huli. No? So, doon sa surge na yan, we will see kung ano yung, ano yung mangyayari doon sa search na yan. But it's really overwhelming because people are responding to what it is here. In fact, during the counting, the ballot counting, our group was in Bayanihan when it was counting the ballots. No, we actually broadcast it live. No, in nung time na yon. So what we siguro can continue to ask for sa ating mga babayan is continue to believe in the process. Though sabi nga kanina natin, ginawa tayong guinea pig, but wala kang magagawa doon, no? This is something that is part of what the COMELEC wants us to do. And kung hindi naman natin tutugunan itong sitwasyon na ito, then it's also hard for us. So, kailangan na lang siguro natin magtimpi na lang muna. And like what DJ McCurb said, if we don't do it this election, which we will be doing
In the future.
which is basically 4 years from now, then it's also difficult to see kung ano yung what will transpire if we don't do it now.
Yeah.
No? Sabi nga ni Phoebe Magallanes dito, ganun po ba, ma'am? Sige po, ma'am, pakisabi one by one kung ano yung ginawa mo para magaya namin. Thank you very much. The process is in our thread. No, we've always been very active in trying to share yung proseso. No, so you just go through our previous threads dito sa ating Facebook.com/PinoyTayoSanman because you can see the process kung paano po yung ginagawa ng karamihan. Again, the hardest part really is how to enroll yourself. No.
Yeah.
Yun naman yung pinakamahirap doon. Getting the one-time password, enrolling yourself first, either the choice of your Gmail account. It's better if you have a Gmail account because I think yung base yata nung kanilang framework, no, sa likod nito is more Gmail based, no? So mas active nila gusto yung Gmail account. So you have a choice to enroll either with a email account or your current active mobile phone in Hong Kong. Now, food for thought doon sa mga kababayan po natin who are actually in the Philippines but they're still they're COMELEC-ing. Nakapag-rehistro po sila. They were active in 2022 when they voted. Unfortunately, nag-for good na po sila. But they wanted both, no? The question is, can I be able to register or rather enroll while I'm in another location? Sagot?
Nope.
No, you can't.
Region blocked.
Because it's regional block. No? Similar yan sa Netflix.
Yeah.
So what you watch in the Philippines may not be applicable to what you watch Netflix here.
Yeah. Because the reason why I know is because my mom is registered here, but currently she's in the Philippines. So she tried to enroll.
Hindi siya
pwede.
So ulitin natin ha. If you're in the Philippines and you remain to be an active voter and you want to enroll in the Philippines but you are an active voter
Here
in Hong Kong, you will not be able. It's regional
blocked.
blocked.
You won't even be able to go to the website.
Yun.
Yeah.
Yun na po yung sagot. Okay? So, again, we continue. We will continue to encourage. Hikayatin po namin kayo, yung mga hindi pa ho nakakapag-enroll, no, para makaboto po sa midterm elections na ito. Ang bobotohin lang naman po natin, 12 senador to the max, ha? Only 12 senators. You can't exceed. You exceed, void lahat.
Yeah.
No? You only can bring in 12 lesser but not more, and then one party list representative. So yeah, that's how it is. Now, there's two things na gusto ko pong pagtuunan ng pansin ngayon. No? Two things na is very rampant sa social media, especially for Filipinos. Yung tinatawag po nating panininang puri, or in translation to the cyber law in Hong Kong, it's called doxing. Diba? So sa atin, paninirang puri yun. Diba? Cyber libel. Diba? Dito, it's called doxing. Okay, so it's rampant because nakakaano pa, yung gumagamit pa sila ng mga vloggers to do that for them. No? So they're hiding themselves doon sa isang tao na babayaran nila di umano para siraan. Let's say, gawin na nating sample. Gusto kong siraan si Tita Kerry. So gagamitin ko si DJ McCurves para siya yung magiging
500 lang.
500. Yan ha. So sasabihin ko ngayon sa kanya yung detalye ng paninira. Pero siya yung gagamit.
Parang may script.
Di ba? So siya yung gagamit nun. Okay? So based on that particular scenario, meron na pong reporting sa police dito. No, regarding dito simple description nila dyan is cybercrime no? Kasama, pumapaloob yan dun sa doxing. No?
Yeah.
Yung pagbigay mo ng mga numbers ng tao na yon na hindi
personal
mo dapat
numbers, information,
addresses, yung mga kinakasama niya, di ba? You're identifying na hindi lamang siya yung kasama dun sa paninira, kasama yung asawa niya or yung kinakasama niya, yung mga anak and all that stuff, no?
Private information
Na inilalabas nyo na walang pahintulot doon sa may-ari ng pribadong impormasyon. Yun yung doxing. Marami hong nangyayari ngayon yan, no? So, may lumapit sa akin ganun, sinisiraan po yung, ito nga hindi ko maintindihan di ba? It's a private relationship. Dalawa kayong nagkasama dito sa sitwasyon na ito. Di ba? Nagkasama kayo, nagkaigihan kayo, and because things are not working out anymore, then dapat kayong dalawa nagsettle noon. Hindi nyo, kumbaga, Sabi nga nila, hindi nyo sinasampay yung madumi yung
Laundry.
labada
Oh.
or laundry sa lahat ng tao para makita nila. 'Di ba? Mali ho yun dun sa ano na yun. That's sabi nga ni Gail, 'di ba? Ano to? It's data privacy. Totoo po 'yun, no? I've explained this the last time in one of my vlogs, and it really needs to be addressed again. No? Kasi tandaan niyo po, no? Kagaya nung what I mentioned in one of my vlogs, 'di ba? Na ginamit nung babae. Ito, bastos talaga 'yun eh. I couldn't really, hindi ko talaga siyang maatim na hindi i-call yung pangalan ng taong 'yun. Because uso ngayon sa mga reels, 'di ba? Nagagamit na sila ng video sa background. Tapos may mga information silang binabanggit, 'di ba? They enumerate the information in certain blocks. So basically, yung lumalabas nun, they copy and paste. The only difference is the video at the back. If you remember, may namatay po tayong kababayan recently na naglaslas at nagbigti. Okay? Hindi po lingid sa inyong kaalaman, nangyari po ito sa Discovery Bay. Okay. So based on that scenario, okay na sana eh. Di ba? Everything would have been okay. Plain and simple. You just basically get the information from sa mga pahayagan dito, and then you post it, and then no need reaction. Some people use it as their content. Ang hindi ko maatim doon sa content na ito, which really pissed me off. Okay? I seldom get pissed off, but this one was really napakababoy talaga yung nangyari ito, no? Yung nasa likod na video while promoting that information was a group of people doing Zumba. Okay? Ano ba naman yung maglagay ka ng a better, you're talking about depth.
Yeah.
Okay? So, yun yung nilagay. And then, in the middle of that video, bago matapos, nilagay yung picture nung namatay.
There's no shame.
No, wala talagang shame. Wala talagang shame.
Yeah.
Yun yung tinatawag ko. I mean, ako, even if I'm in social media, which doesn't have any sort of censorship, sabihin na natin. Ako, I still put a little bit of control on the words that you use. Yung iba dyan, nagmumura na eh, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung iba dyan, kung ano-ano na yung sinasabi. So the person did that. If you can do that to a person that you don't know, what more to a person that you know?
Yeah.
Right?
They might not do worse because when it comes to social media and the internet, there's a so-called thing there's a certain power behind the keyboard.
True. And there's a certain power also of not using your own name.
Exactly. So people don't actually I could be Frederick on Facebook, but you don't know my real name. And then mamaya maging viral ako under the name Frederick, and you don't know ever what my real name is. You know my face. You know, if you see me down on the road, you say Frederick, hello. I will respond to Frederick. But you don't know my real name. That's the power behind the keyboard. That's why yung mga social media people na yan, pagka kinonfront mo in person,
Duwag naman yun eh.
biglang liliit.
Duwag naman sila eh.
Biglang liliit.
Duwag talaga. So yun yung sinasabi ko, no? There are what we call command responsibility sa mga ganyang sitwasyon. At saka yung pagiging po natin, yung hindi ho tayo basta burara na gumagawa ng ganun. What if it happened to you or to a relative of yours na wala pa ho kaalam-alam yung kanilang mahal sa buhay?
Yeah.
And because of your posting,
Yeah.
because pinost nyo pa yung mukha ng babae na kapwa natin OFW, wala man lang kayo respeto, di ba? Doon
No
sa sitwasyon
respect.
na yun. Napakababaw na yun. Ano pa ba pwede nating sabihin sa inyo? Di ba? Na hindi nyo po na nalalam. I mean, wala nang walang salita na pwedeng sabihin sa'yo. Hindi ako makapag-isip ng tamang word eh. Kasi
Again,
sobrang baba na siya eh.
scum of the earth.
Oo, sobra na talaga eh, di ba? Yun yung mahirap doon.
It's very unfortunate that the internet, as great as it is, it's really uncensored. And you really can't uncensor, you really can't censor it. Freedom of speech yan eh. But again, like I believe it was the great Mike Tyson said, social media has enabled people to think that they can talk smack and not pay the consequences.
Ayun na nga yung sinasabi natin. No? So yun yung hard fact. That's the hard, true fact about social media. And marami ho sa atin ang nabibiktima ng dahil dyan.
Yeah.
No, then, like as I said, it's not really good as what it is. So kailangan mag-ingat po kayo sa mga sitwasyon na ganyan. Because if you don't want to be a victim of it, then I think you have to think about the words and things that you post also.
Yeah.
Para hindi ho kayo mahanapan o mabutasan sa mga nangyayari po sa inyong pagpo-post. A lot of people don't feel great about it. Dapat lang naman. Pero kung maganda naman at kaaya-aya naman po yung inyong mga pinopost, napakaganda po noon, no?
Yeah.
It now uplifts, no? Uplift yung post mo, yung sarili mo, at hindi ka nagtatago kung ano man yung katotohanan tungkol sa iyo. Yun lang yun.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. Now, that's one of the things that I want to be able to emphasize. Stop using things because gusto nilang magkaroon ng content. If you notice that Facebook, from the time that it introduced Reels, that's in response to TikTok. No? Yung kanilang terms and conditions has changed dramatically. Di ba? Ngayon, dati, it was just basically reach. Hindi na dati nilalagay yung views kasi important. Ngayon, kailangan na yung views and your reach, kailangan almost pareho sila, di ba? In order for you to monetize your Ngayon, because there's so many people who really did good in monetizing things, tumataas na ngayon yung threshold, bumababa naman po yung pagmo-monetize ng mga ginagawa ninyo. So, if you're just trying to base it on monetizing, sad to say, it's not gonna happen and it's not gonna be as good as what you think it would be. So, kung ako sa inyo, kung wala naman ho kayong masabing tama, if it's not true, and there's two things na dapat nyong tingnan. Is it the true thing that you're bringing out? Are you going to be hurting people? Right? Number 3, making sure that if ever it is not true and you're hurting people, accept the consequences when it hits back at you.
But they won't.
Diba? So yun yung ano doon. Now, the second thing that I'd like to bring up also today is meron tayong kababayan who nagkaroon po siya ng problema sa kanyang abdo, which is basically yung kanyang gallbladder, no?
Makdo, kala ko sabi mo Makdo. Anong problema sa Makdo?
Meron yun. Recently may nangyari sa Makdo. Anyway, yung nangyari po dun sa kanya is that nagkaroon po siya ng problema sa kanyang abdo. So, this is normally kasi yung gallstones are more prevalent nangyayari sa mga kababaihan kesa sa kalalakihan. Nangyayari yun. Okay? So, there are just to
these are not kidney stones.
No. These are gallstones.
Okay.
Ito yung bali basically yung gallbladder natin, 'di ba? May bile 'yan, 'di ba? Yun yung nagiging filter niya. 'Di ba? So, yun yung talagang nagaano nung problema mo dun sa kung masyado kayong maraming kinakain na taba and so on and so forth, and you don't really exercise, you don't have the strong, ano bang tawag mo doon? hindi kayo nakakaano, no? Hindi nyo natutunaw siya ng tama, nagka-calcify siya. So yung pagka-calcify niya, hindi kagaya nung kidney stones. Kasi kidney stones is more calcium-based yun eh. So para siyang, sa kidney stones kasi, it's like rock salt. Yun yung calcification niya. Dito, it's more of like malagkit siya na parang putik. Eventually, nagiging siya, no? May nakita ako as big as, some of them as big as, sorry kung kumakain po kayo at favorite nitong chocolate na to, but some of them can be as big as Maltesers.
Masarap ang Maltesers.
Oo, pero syempre hindi masarap yung ganun na mapait na parang putik, no? Na nagaano siya, no? So based on that situation, ito lang gusto kong sabihin sa inyo, ha? Ayun, tama sinabi ni mahina yung metabolism mo.
So mabagal.
So nagkaano siya, ang lumalabas doon, kasi parang yan eh, parang sack. 'Di ba? So doon naiipon 'yun. Tapos kung hindi siya na ng masyado ng acid ninyo, kumakapal 'yun until it solidifies. Right? So yung sack na 'yun, technically, kung siya, filter siya. So, siyempre, pag dumami na yung nag-calcify na siya dun sa loob, hindi na
wala
pwedeng...
nang na-filter.
Oo. Pero ngayon, meron kasing bagong mga ways of doing things na. Yung iba, nilalagyan na nila ng parang parang nilalagyan na nila ng stent. Meron na yung stent eh. Parang, yung stent na yun, parang wire siya.
Tapos i-widen.
Tapos i-widen siya para yung daloy, It happened to one of our OFWs who's currently now in Taiwan. No? She was here, I remember, tinutukan ko po siya dati dito during the pandemic. Okay? I remember her, I don't know, kung sa mga nakikinig sa atin then, ang nangyari sa kanya, she turned yellow na. Parang nagkaroon siya ng jaundice. It's caused by the liver na nga. So, diretso sa she actually sat on a wheelchair sa United Christian Hospital sa A&E for 24 hours. One day siya doon nakaupo.
Bakit?
Kasi nga ang pinaprioritize nila during that particular time were people who COVID. Anyway, fast forward, nalaman nga nila that she had gallstones, and then sabi niya, okay, ready na tayong operahan ka. Fortunately, may COVID siya. Nagka-COVID siya.
One day siya nandun.
Oo, siya yung first person na nakilala ko na nilagyan nila siya ng stent. Okay. So nung nilagyan siya ng stent, okay na siya. She recovered and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, natanggal siya sa trabaho. She was sent back home. By the time she got back home, bumalik siya sa hospital sa atin sa Pilipinas. Nakita nila, first time nila siguro nakakita ng stent, nakita nila marami na yung gallstones niya. Inoperahan siya ulit. Nung inoperahan siya, ang laki ng hiwa sa kanya. So anyway, she's done better now. Ngayon, yung kababayan nating recently na yun ang nangyari, dinala siya nung kanyang amo sa China. At doon siya pinagamot. Okay? Eto ngayon yung nangyari sa kanya. The experience is, oh my God. Yun na lang sasabihin ko. The experience is, oh my God. So, dinala siya doon. They did the operation sa kanya. She came back. Ngayon, meron na siyang catheter and bag. Pagbalik niya dito, tinerminate siya ng amo. Pagdating niya dito, terminate siya ng amo niya. And she's been with the employer for 6 years. Okay. Sad to say, dahil yung employer dinala siya sa China at doon siya inoperahan, so of course the insurance does not cover in China. Ang ginawa ng employer, yung kung ano sanang matatanggap niya sa kanyang long service, inawas yung
Operation
sa China.
Why?
Tingnan mo yung itsura niya. Yun na nga, that's exactly my question. Why? Okay? So, ako, sa akin, when I heard this story, that lady was actually trying to complain on the issue. Nagawa na eh. Operahan na siya eh. Di ba? So, ngayon, nung terminate siya, binawas sa kanya, konti lang natira sa kanya. Di ba? Ang question ko is, yun na nga yung sinasabi natin. When I heard that, sabi ko, nasan siya ngayon? Nasa OWA po siya, nagtatanong. Naku, patay tayo dyan. Kasi nga, ang akin lang para sa mga kababayan po natin, let this be a lesson learned. No? When I say lesson learned, is you should know what your body is capable of. Number one. Number two, pag kayo po when you follow your gut feel, ladies and gentlemen, kailangan nyo pong isipin na ano muna yung ikakabuti ninyo kesa yung sa trabaho ninyo. Okay. You have to really understand that po. Why am I saying bakit ko sinasabi yon na kung ano yung kabubuti ninyo? Because look at what happened to this kababayan natin. She was operated in China, not knowing na doon siya aabutan or doon siya dinala talaga ng amo niya. Inoperahan siya, came back here, sinisante, tapos kinaltas pa yung pera niya doon sa ano niya. Okay, sabihin mo na kung on a lighter point of view, sasabihin mo sa sarili mo, okay na rin. Anyway, okay naman ako eh. But on a legal standpoint, mali.
Yeah.
Because you could have done it here. And if you have done it here, it would have been for free.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yun yung kailangan natin isipin. No? Sabi nga yun ni Tita Joy, di po ba dapat bawal po siyang i-terminate? Yes, that's the point. Di ba? Bawal nga siya i-terminate because she is still under medication.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you are caught in between, like yung kababayan natin, na at the end of the day, na-save naman siya. So, siguro, ang iniisip niya, okay na rin to. Diba? Okay na rin naman ako eh. But, yun na nga yung question ko. Now that she's back here, and meron pa rin siyang catheter na naka-expose, how is that?
How are you going? Ano yung procedure na?
Ano yung procedure then? And kung whether the existing, kung dinala mo ngayon yan sa, let's say sa A&E, would the doctors here actually touch you? Because the procedure was done in China. So medyo madugong usapan yan. Di ba? So what does that mean? Dahil terminate ka na, hindi ka na makakabalik ng China and you can't go back to the same place where you had the procedure.
Yeah.
Right? Kaya yung advice ko po sa inyo, before you jump into that, una sa lahat, we always say, prevention is better than cure. So when nakakaramdam na po kayo ng medyo at the early stages of yung nararamdaman ninyo, my suggestion is seek proper medical attention. Habang maaga pa. Para maagapan siya. Right? Wag na ho nating itago, wag na ho tayo mag-self-medicate because we understand that with so much of medications that we've taken during the time when you were growing up, lalo na sa Pilipinas, napaka-prevalent o napaka-common na uminom ng antibiotics. Inumin mo lang ng antibiotics yan. 2 araw. Antibiotics are drank. May ano po yan, may certain period yan. It goes 5 days or it goes 7 days. Pag hindi nyo po nakumpleto yon,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. The worst part about it, it's not that it doesn't work, but you also have to place into your mind that number one, kahit anong gawin nyo, sabit po ang magiging problema nyo dyan. Bakit? Because your immune system gets immune to the medicine, and kahit na ulit-ulitin yung inumin yun, wala na hong bisa yun. And sometimes, when you drink too much of antibiotics, it actually is detrimental to the rest of your entire organs. Then, it actually becomes worse than it gets better. Diba? So, yun lang po gusto nating, yun ang sumatotal ng lahat na yan. Wag ho nating paiiralin o ilalagay ang ating sarili sa alanganing sitwasyon. In the end of the day, we regret it. And marami po tayong mga kababayan na ganyan. So, we all self-medicate. We buy the same we buy the same medication doon nakagis na natin sa Pilipinas. Yun rin ang iinumin natin dito. At pag uminom tayo, parang alam na natin kasi para tayong may sarili tayong butika. So yung prescription na yon na hindi naman prescribe sa inyo, inom lang kayo ng inom. Patay tayo. Okay, so please lang po, wag mag-self-medicate. Kasi the end result nun is talagang mahirapan po kayo. Kagaya na sinasabi nga natin, ulitin natin, prevention is better than cure. In addition to that, it doesn't hurt to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. You are normally awake for between 8 to 12 hours. You are asleep to as low as 4 to 5 hours, as max to about 8 to 9 hours. Diba? You still have a certain number of hours that you can still do well. But at the rate we're going, sa katamaran nyo po, ayaw nyo nang mag-exercise. Dahil sasabihin nyo, bukas na lang. Sa susunod na araw na lang. Diba? Sabi nga nila, it doesn't take rocket science to do maybe 30 minutes or 10-15 minutes of anong tawag dito? Stationary jumping jacks. Okay? So, kailangan ho natin gawin yun. Let's be more physical nowadays than putting you into a very unusual situation kagaya nitong kababayan natin. Na hindi ko sinasabi na kailangan natin siyang i-blame dito sa circumstance. Hindi. Kasi nandun na siya sa sitwasyon yun.
Yeah.
Diba? Siguro nagtitipid yung kanyang amo knowing na, di bali, pagamot na lang natin doon. Diba? So yun lang po yung nakikita ko po. And one more thing, pagbabalik.
Metro Plus weather.
It will be mainly cloudy with occasional showers and a few squally thunderstorms. Temperatures will range between 24 and 28 degrees, and relative humidity will stand between 80 to 95%. We can expect light to moderate southerly winds becoming moderate east to northeasterlies at night. The outlook. It will be windier and there will still be a few showers on Saturday. Slightly cooler in the morning over the weekend. There will be sunny periods in the following couple of days, and it will be hot during the day. And that's the weather from Metro Plus, your Connect.
When an amber rainstorm signal is in force, follow the news on weather and road conditions. When a red or black rainstorm signal is in force and the Education Bureau has announced class suspension, schools should adopt emergency measures. They should keep premises open, look after students who have arrived, and keep students at school until it is safe to leave. Parents need not hurry to pick up children. Students already on their way to school should pay attention to rainfall, as well as traffic, slope, and road conditions, and should stay somewhere safe if necessary.
Balik po tayo sa ating programa. Marami po tayo sa ating mga kababayan. Okay? Na sometimes you sacrifice too much for your employers, but ang return nyo hindi naman ganon. Not that I'm saying that it's bad, but you also have to consider your personal well-being. Okay? So kung may mga sinasabi niya, mabait naman po sila. Okay, kung mabait sila, wala namang problema yun eh.
Yeah.
But you also have to look at the environment where you are in. Okay? Pag sinabi po natin yung an environment to where you're in, siguraduhin nyo na malinis yung kapaligiran na inyong tinitirhan. Okay?
May hirap na yung magka-bed bugs.
Alam niyo yun, di ba?
Oh.
Meron yun, yung mga ganon. Hindi kayo makatulog. Mainit masyado yung lugar. Na, kumbaga, mas ang lumalabas, sasabihin nyo sa sarili nyo, kasi naman, mabait naman sila so okay na lang.
Pero kinakagat kayo ng bedbugs eh. Hirap nun.
Or nakakain kayo, wala kayong makain, hindi nyo ginagamit yung inyong ano. Sa mga sitwasyon na ganito, natatakot po kayo dahil baka ma-terminate po kayo. In circumstances like these, it is best that you have what we call documentation to every day that happens to you. Especially do sa mga baguhan.
Yeah.
Yung mga nag-uumpisa pa lamang sa kanilang mga amo. You have to look at it in a very particular and sensitive way of writing your documentation.
Like yung mga diaries, like the police accept that
Yes.
as evidence. Yes.
Correct. Diba?
As long as na regular yung mga
Yung mga ano mo. It doesn't have to be, kagaya ng sinasabi ko, it doesn't have to be every day may nangyayari.
Oh.
Hindi. Basta every time na may nangyayari na medyo alanganin para sa sitwasyon nyo, documented siya. Ngayon, marami sa atin nagko-complain regarding what? CCTV sa loob ng bahay. Wala na akong privasiya.
As long as it's not in your personal space.
Yes. Ako, feeling ko, it's better pa nga that the CCTV is there eh.
Yeah.
Kasi kung may mangyari doon sa bahay at kini-question nila yung pangyayaring nangyari sa'yo,
May evidence.
may evidence.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
It doesn't really matter whatever it happens. But most important thing, really, nabigla ka ba doon?
Parang ang baho nun. Iba yung...
Hindi, kasi bago eh.
Hindi siya minty.
Nasobra na sa tagal.
Oh.
So anyway, kailangan nyo pong ako sa akin, Diyos ko, dito may CCTV kami dyan, oh.
Yung mahirap dyan,
Oh.
sa akin lang nakatuktok.
Hindi. Wide siya eh. Hindi. Actually, hindi ako nakikita kasi naka-block siya eh.
Hindi, alam ko sa akin lang nakatuktok yan dahil dun sa engineering room,
Dyan lang nakatutok, ano?
dyan lang talaga, sa board lang talaga.
Okay. Anyway, so based on that, wag ho kayong ano tawag dito. I think it is already a common fact that most households now have CCTV. Napakamura kasi ng CCTV.
Yeah.
You can buy a ano tawag dito? Not a 4K but a 2K CCTV for $100. No?
Yeah.
It's a good brand. Hindi po ito yung mga maliliit na ano ha. You can actually do that yung CCTV.
Yeah.
And those CCTV can it's not only watching it but they can actually leave messages by actually talking through that lalabas yung speaker. Meron na ho yan. So that's a common thing now in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Okay? I think it's not only in Hong Kong but palagay ko sa Pilipinas that's beginning to be a common sight, especially kung kumukuha sila ng ebidensya in terms of transport and whatever, no? So marami na ho yan. So kagaya ng sinabing tita ka dito, kakampi ko ang CCTV, ang loko ni Yeye sa place ko nakatutok. So yun. Kagaya ng sinasabi natin, yung CCTV will not lie because that's where kung sasabihin nila, paano nawala yung na-record ng ganitong time to ganitong time, di syempre doon na tinago na yun ng taong merong connection doon sa CCTV, di ba? Naku, may kinuha pa naman ako dyan, may CCTV pala. Dito, babes talaga, dito sa station. So, gaya ng sinasabi natin, yun ang kailangan nyo pong, make the CCTV as your, as your partner. Lalo-lalo sa bahay. Especially when you have kids na inaalagaan.
And like I said, as long as it's not in your private living area.
Yes. Of course, yun yung nabalitaan natin the last time, di ba? Yung kababayan po natin na naglagay ng CCTV yung kanyang among lalaki sa loob ng
toilet.
Habang nagsha-shower siya. So, yung mga ganun, okay lang yun, di ba?
Bawal po yung sa bathroom, sa personal
space
personal
mo, yung tutulugan mo.
But think of it this way na rin, di ba? Like if they put CCTV in their house, that's your workplace.
Yeah.
So you can't really say na mawawala yung privacy mo because you're at work.
Correct.
You might be working in a house, a private domain.
Correct.
That's still your workplace.
Correct. So kailangan ingatan nyo po yung mga sarili nyo when it comes to that, no?
Yeah.
Wag na, kumbaga, make that gadget work for you. Importante yun.
Yeah.
Siguro, finally, last but not the least, it is a common it's common knowledge sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan na there are, I don't know, siguro walang pinagpipili ang edad ito, na even in the reels, every now and then na nakikita ko, na meron po tayong na-experience. Of course, we go through finding a partner for ourselves. Okay? And kadalasan sa mga Pilipino, nakikita po natin, sadly, doon sa iba, ginagamit po nilang stepping stone yung pakikipag-kaibigan, karelasyon sa mga AFAM. Meaning, yung mga foreigners. No? Okay. So, okay lang siya because that's your choice. Okay? That's
Choice
your
ko
choice.
yun.
Choice mo yan eh. Diba? So, kung ano man lahi ang gusto mong maging karelasyon, it is your choice. But there's also one thing that you have to be very careful of also, is maging mapagmasid po kayo. Sabi nga natin, it does not necessarily mean na kung kayo po ay nakakuha ng isang foreigner, iaangat na po kayo sa inyong sitwasyon ngayon. Like as I said, I am not looking at this in a general format, but nakikita naman po natin yan. May mga iba na napag-usapan po natin before na ito yung pinag-usapan natin, na yung iba mas matindi pa sa parang langaw ka na lang nakatungtong sa kalabaw kung paano ka dumiskarte. But, like what we said, it is something like that, getting into a relationship sa mga ganon, it does not happen na it's always a successful relationship. Bakit kamo? May lumapit sa atin na isang kababayan natin na wala na ho siya rito ngayon. Nakapangasawa po siya ng foreigner. Okay? So, she thought that it was a dream come true. Parang ano ba yung tawag dito?
Fairy tale?
Parang fairy tale siya.
Oh.
So, okay. Ganun na nangyari. They had a nice chance na, nakahanap siya ng partner, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Ito, sobrang, isa sa mga nangyari na yan, yung naging killer pala, no? Makikita niyo po yun, there are certain things that are happening in the States. It does not have to be the same person na, kumbaga, the same kalahi mo or hindi kalahi mo, no? Nangyari po yan recently, di ba, sa ating kababayan, 2 Pilipino, yung ating kababayang OFW dito na driver, sadly, napatay niya yung kanyang girlfriend na Filipina din. Ngayon, nahatulan na po siyang habang buhay na pagkabilanggo, no? Kaya yung tinatawag nating 25 years to life, no? That's another story na rin. Anyway, sa nangyari po dito sa kababayan natin, so from being here as a domestic helper, dinala ngayon siya dun sa bansa kung nasaan yung kanyang karelasyon. Sad part is, what was shown here is totally different from what is there. Yan ang mabigat. So, nangyari is that it was just basically a front kung ano man yung nangyayari dito. Eventually, what happened was, pagdating doon, wala palang trabaho yung kababayan natin. Ay, yung
lalaki.
Yung lalaki. So, nung walang walang trabaho yung ating kapartner ng ating kababayan, ang lumabas, wala siyang makuha ng trabaho, naglasing na yung lalaki. Okay? Sa pagkalasing ng lalaki, lalong hindi siya makakakuha ng trabaho. So, yung Pilipina who was thinking na okay na sana, ang ganda na sana nung kanyang dinala po siya sa ibang bansa. What has happened is that siya ngayon yung napilitan na maghanap ng trabaho. Ang lumalabas ngayon doon is that yung kanyang kinalalagyan ngayon, siya na ngayon po ang lumalabas na sa sobrang dami niyang, 2 na po yung trabaho niya, di ba? Hindi na siya magkanda o gaga sa trabaho. Unfortunately, yung kanyang partner nagdepend na lang sa kanya ngayon. So siya na ngayon ang sumusustento doon sa partner na yun.
Na-scam siya.
Na-scam siya doon. The worst part of it all is this. Ngayon, she wants to come back. Sabi niya, yung buhay ko dyan, definitely sabi niya, yung buhay ko dati dyan is mas maganda pa kaysa doon sa buhay niya ngayon. So sometimes, right, when we look at it, we have to bear in mind na hindi lahat ng kumikinang ay ginto. So these are sort of life's lessons na kailangan po nating intindihin. Na we cannot just jump into anything that we think na okay, oportunidad ko na ito and so on and so forth, Well, there's no perfect relationship. Sadly, nangyari sa kanito. But like as I said, there are relationships na naging fairy tale po siya.
Yeah.
One of whom is our friend who nanalo sa isang singing contest natin dito. Dati, many years back, now she's married to a Scottish guy. They were based in Dubai for a while. Now I think they're back in Scotland. Successful yun, no? They're a successful couple. They have, I think, 2 kids. So, yung masakit dyan, sabi ko nga, it's never a perfect relationship. But you have to find someone who you will be able to deal with. Hindi yung pinakitang tao ka lang pala. And sometimes, sad enough, na ganun po ang tingin sa atin ng mga banyaga. Na lalo na yung mga kababaihan natin are easy to fall on them because nga of the thought na pag dinala ka sa ibang bansa, okay na. Wala naman sabi si DJ. Sabi nga ni DJ Boljak dito, tama lang talaga ang forever single, sabi ni DJ Boljak. Sabi ni Tita Tess, buti na lang sarado na puso ko, di na ako naghahanap. O ikaw na hahanapin yan, di ba? Sometimes minsan.
Yan yung pre-requirements sa tigang party list.
Yan
Yung single forever, bato na yung puso.
Ano kaya natin talaga yan, Ilagay kaya natin yan sa susunod na natin?
Na election.
Hindi presidential, pwede na yun,
May
4
party
years.
list.
4 years to develop the tigang party list.
Oo. Tigang. Para nasa top.
Dash
Tigang.
Pero yung tigang na yun, may acronym yun. Acronym lang yun. Meron talagang yun.
Meaning. Gawan kaya natin ng talagang meaning.
Sige, bigyan mo ng Sa hindi taset, ang saklap ngayon. Ang saklap naman yan kung ganyan ang nangyayari. Pero hindi naman masasabi nating masaklap siya. But we just have to be very careful on what we feel at the end of the day. Sometimes kasi we look at things more on the economics. Sabi niya, Tita Edna, mas masaya ang pag-single. Pero sinulat si Tita Edna dito kanina. Si Tita Ada about CCTV. Hindi lang po CCTV ang reklamo. Daming nagrereklamo ng mga helper, lalo na pag ang mga amo ay nasa bahay. Naiinis sila. Di ba bahay nila yun? It's true.
Yeah.
Ba't ka naiinis? Bahay nila yun.
Exactly.
Hindi ka naman pumunta dito para di ba? Para humiga. At para magpataba. Di ba?
Totoo yan.
Yan. Ang question dun is, kung bahay nila yon, pwede nilang gawin kung ano mang gusto nilang gawin. Kung ayaw nila magtrabaho, kung gusto nila,
Ang galing!
Ha? Bakit?
Tigang. Alliance for Transformation, Integrity, Growth, Accountability, Nationalism, Good Governance.
Oh, see? Ganda pala ng
Ganda pala!
Ano yan? DeepSeek mo?
Oh!
Iyan mo na yan. Screen capture mo na yan.
Ang galing! Alliance for Transformation, Integrity, Growth, Accountability, Nationalism, Good Governance.
Perfect.
Atigang party
list. Kita mo yan, Diba?
Gawan mo na rin ng soundbite.
Atigang. Nag-iisa lang yan.
Tita Carrie.
Naiinis sila kasi di makapag-dot-dot sa cellphone. Alam mo,
when you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, when you're doing something wrong, CCTVs will definitely.
Yeah.
Alam nyo dito sa amin, hindi na nga pinapansin yan.
Nakalimutan ko na nga meron dyan eh.
If I didn't remind you, di ba? Mas masahol pa sa amin dito. There's 2 groups of people who can see that. Yung security namin, at saka yung engineering.
Yung engineering, yeah.
Oo. Right. So, wag na natin pag-isipan pa kung anong nakikita nyo at pinagdadaanan nyo tungkol sa mga ganyan. Again, I'd like to remind everyone, kung meron po kayong mga pinagdadaanan and you'd like to sort of be part of helping others sa ating hashtag Badiko. And you have some questions na pwede naman pong bigyan ng tamang sagot. Pwede ho kayo mag-WhatsApp sa amin, 664-18811. 664-18811. We'll try to give you all the information necessary. If we can't answer your questions, then we refer you further to those people who are in the know. Problema lang, binabawasan lang namin po siya because of the fact that sobrang dami po ngayon talaga ng mga inquiries.
Yeah.
No, there's so many inquiries about sa mga kababayan po natin, yung mga problema po, and sometimes, of course, inundated din po, nasosobrahan din po. Sabi nga nila na nasasakal din po yung ating mga kasamahan sa konsulado. So, we are just one of the avenues who are here para tulungan po kayo, no, sa ganitong sitwasyon. Huwag niyo kalilimutan, nandyan din po ang ating migrante, nandyan din po ang Gabriela, at kasama din po natin si Tita Sen sa kanyang mission, no, for migrant workers. It does not specifically address only yung mga issues ng ating mga OFWs, but also addresses the issues of mga Indonesian workers po natin.
Yeah.
And of course, nandyan po yung kanilang shelter ng Biton House. No?
Yeah.
If you would like to help in whatever way possible, lalong-lalo na sa kanilang shelter, mangyari lang po talagang dumulog na lang po kayo sa kanila. Or you can go to Mission, no, sa Mission for Migrant Workers dyan po sa St. John's Cathedral. Or you can go to their Facebook page, Mission for Migrant Workers, or you can go to Biton Facebook page. It's BETHUNE. No? You've noticed I'm not giving you the address of Biton because it has to remain as anonymous as possible, kasi kung may mga kinakailangan pong
mga unfortunate victims,
kailangan po silang itago.
Yeah.
So hindi po natin basta-basta pwedeng i-divulge yung lugar po na yun. Okay. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Sabi nga ni Tita Edna, mabuhay po kayo, sana all merong PTS. Well, gaya ng sinasabi natin, may mga tao tayong natulungan recently also na mga taga-Thailand. Si Marlon ng Thailand, kung nakikinig siya, ito yung grupo ng mga teachers na nagtuturo dyan sa Thailand. Ano? There we also have a big number of teachers who are teaching in Vietnam and in other Southeast Asian countries or ASEAN. Congratulations po sa inyo. And Marlon, who natulungan ko siya because yung kanyang kapatid at kaibigan ng kanyang kapatid na hold dito sa immigration sa Hong Kong. One of these days, we'll set an interview with him para malaman naman po natin kung doon sa mga kababayan natin whom nais namang maipagpatuloy yung kanilang pagiging guro sa ibang bansa, kahit na nandito sila bilang domestic helper sa Hong Kong at gusto nilang i-practice yung kanilang profession, tanungin natin sa kanila kung paano naman makapagtrabaho doon sa bansang Thailand. Okay, dyan po tayo nagpapaalam. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Tomorrow would be a bit of a rainy day.
Yeah.
So don't forget to bring your umbrellas or yung kapote ninyo.
Yep.
Or rain gear. Okay, ingat po kayo. Love you guys. Sa ngalan po ng inyong Tita Carrie, of course, DJ Jin, DJ McCurvis, DJ The Big J, Kuya Mike niyo po.
Bye.
We're always here for you every step of the way. Good night!